And I'm calling for the death penalty for drug dealers and human traffickers. Crime in our country will go down 80 to 85% in one day. And I think it's much worse than that. I think that's only what we hear about. It would stop. If you didn't get it down 75, 80, 90% from day one, I'd be surprised. And these committees that they set up, it's laughable. It's a horrible thing. We would solve that problem so fast, and I'm calling on Republicans and Democrats immediately to get to Washington and institute the death penalty for drug dealers. You will no longer have a problem.
Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Tuesday, February 14th, 2023. Welcome to day 756. Inflation climbed 6.4% in January, down from 6.5% in December, and well below the peak in June of 9.1%. While it was the seventh straight year-over-year slowdown, the January Consumer Price Index was still higher than expected. On a monthly basis, inflation climbed 0.5% from December, up from the previous reading of 0.1%. Economists expect inflation to fall roughly 4% later this year, and today's inflation reading and a recent unexpectedly strong jobs report puts the Federal Reserve on track to raise interest rates at their March meeting to ensure inflation continues to fall. Investors now expect the Fed to raise rates to around 5.2% by the summer and then hold them above 5% through the end of 2023. Moving on, Mike Pence will challenge a federal grand jury subpoena issued by the special counsel investigating Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Pence is expected to advance a novel legal theory that the Constitution's speech or debate clause shields him from testifying, saying that his role as president of the Senate, i.e. a member of the legislative branch, insulates him from grand jury questions. Jack Smith's office is seeking documents and testimony from Pence about the January 6th insurrection, when Trump's supporters stormed the Capitol and disrupted the certification of Biden's electoral victory, a process that Pence was presiding over in the Senate at the time. Meanwhile, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem signed a bill prohibiting gender-affirming care for transgender minors. The law will ban the prescription of puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and gender-affirming surgery for transgender people who are under the age of 18 in that state. Healthcare providers who violate the new law risk civil lawsuits and the loss of their professional or occupational licenses. Meanwhile, the Florida legislature expanded a program that's been used to fly migrants to Democratic-led cities and states. Governor Ron DeSantis can now relocate migrants from any state in the country, not just from Florida, to blue states that have sanctuary policies in place. The measure passed both Republican-led chambers along party lines during a special session, and it formally creates the Unauthorized Alien Transport Program under the state's Division of Emergency Management. The bill now goes to DeSantis for his signature. In related news, Governor DeSantis wanted to ban weapons from a campaign event, but suggested that the city should take responsibility for the firearms ban. DeSantis has been a vocal supporter of gun rights. In an October email, the city-run Tampa Convention Center's safety and security manager wrote, DeSantis/his campaign will not tell their attendees they are not permitted to carry because of the political optics, adding, basically, it sounds like they want us to say it's our policy to disallow firearms within the event space if anyone asks. Moving on, Nikki Haley announced that she will run for president in 2024, saying it's time for a new generation of leadership. Haley is the first Republican to challenge Trump for the 2024 Republican nomination. And finally, Trump reportedly wants to expand the use of the death penalty and bring back death by firing squad, by hanging, and by guillotine if he is reelected. Trump has also suggested the idea of televising footage of executions. One source said the former president believes this would help put the fear of God into violent criminals, adding he wanted to do some of these things when he was in office, but for whatever reasons didn't have the chance. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.
News.